Has this ever happened to you? You're playing Knockout Tour or Grand Prix, you're going through, you're doing a fantastic job, you're in first, just to hear that dreaded beeping sound to inform you that you're moments away from certain doom from the spiny shell. This is going to be your masterclass in how to avoid, dodge, and counter the blue shell in Mario Kart World. And thank you to sponsor this video, D-Brand. I personally love Knockout Tour. I love going through, I love trying to get into that first spot during all the checkpoints, and while I'm running at the front of the pack, the blue shells are a scourge on my playthrough. So I've actually come up with about 14 different ways for you to directly counter or mitigate the effects of the spiny shell, aka blue shell. First and foremost, we're gonna get it out of the way. You probably know this, the super horn, an item that you could pull in most positions, including while you're already in first, albeit at a very low percentage. You can pull the super horn, which does an area of effect around your racer, destroying the blue shell while it's floating above you. If you're playing in two-player and you guys are working together to go against the computer, the person who's in second, if they see the blue shell pass, they can actually use the super horn to destroy the blue shell before it even reaches the other player in first position. So you guys can work together that way. Second is to have a lead. Not just be in first, but to have so much of a lead that even if you were to be hit by a blue shell, that it doesn't matter that much. Now, for some of the heavier characters, getting your acceleration up can be a little bit difficult, so while this may not be a fantastic solution, you should also know that the blue shell has a timer. After it is launched, if there is that much of a disparity between the person who launched the blue shell and the person in first, it can despawn in that amount of time. However, if you don't have a lead, one of the best ways for you to counter the blue shell is to not get hit by it and have it hit someone else. Once you know that it's happening, either because you see it on the map or because you hear the sound, you can just slow down and have the person who's in second reach first. They may not be aware of the blue shell and they're going to get hit by it, allowing you to, even though you slow down, very easily overtake that first place spot once again. Next is to take out someone with you. If you guys are at the front of the pack, especially if there's like two people there and you don't want to slow down and you don't mind losing the item that you have because you know someone next to you has a much better item, maneuver yourself that way you're close enough to the person next to you, that way if you get hit, they're getting hit too. Next should be your core main way to dodge the blue shell, and that's rewind, the function that's done by hitting down on the D-pad if you're playing not online. Hitting rewind reverses the actions of your character while still maintaining the inertia or momentum of your vehicle. So if you were to hit rewind just before getting hit, you're just going to be pulled out of the explosion radius, which can hit other players, and then you're still going at top speed. And on top of all of those things, you keep your items. D-Brand's brand new kill switch for the Nintendo Switch 2 is a fantastic way for you to protect your Switch 2. It's honestly the best case that I own. While a lot of cases are either too slim to protect the system or too bulky to fit in the dock, the kill switch includes a separate dock that connects to your already existing Nintendo Switch 2 dock. That way you never have to take the case off. It has a protective cover with an area for you to interchange these plates that hold 10 cartridges each. And it just goes on the top, front of the Nintendo Switch 2, wraps around, and it is safe from anything you're going to be throwing at this. Visit dbrand.com/AustinJohnPlays if you think the kill switch is a good fit to protect your Nintendo Switch 2. On with the rest of the things to protect you from a blue shell. I knew we should have bought the plushie from Target.
I'm so sorry. You asked if you think I could hit the deep.
I did, yeah. And you did.
I nailed it.
Yeah, you definitely did. And now I have to rebuild this.
Hi, you're welcome.
Thanks for helping out the channel.
You're welcome.
Next are 4 different items that can help you avoid the blue shell, albeit not that common for you to have in first. The most common for you to have would be the Boo item. If you use Boo, you turn invisible and you don't get hit by the impact of the blue shell. The Star, which makes you completely invulnerable to all attacks. The Mega Mushroom, which allows you to grow big and then just not be affected by the damage of the blue shell. And the fourth and most difficult one is the blue shell. If you smuggle a blue shell from a lower place into first place, no one else can pull a blue shell. Of the 4 items, not only is this the least likely for you to have, but it's also the most dangerous because while the blue shell is behind you, it cannot protect you against shells and other projectiles coming at you. So while I was in the first portion of this knockout tour, I got a blue shell and I smuggled it into first. I had another item that got stolen by Boo, and then I eventually kept going and going and going, but I got pelted by so many red shells that I eventually just had to use it and continue on with the race. Next is an item that you're likely to have in first place, but may not be the absolute best counter, and that's the feather. Now, the feather can, in a way, counter the blue shell, and that's to use the feather to jump out of bounds and then get picked up by Lakitu. This isn't the best way to counter the blue shell because you do lose your items and you lose your coins, but you do get that little bit of a boost from Lakitu, so it might be better than actually being hit by the impact. Although you do have to get your coins back and you lose your items. Like I said, it's not a very good way, but it is a way to counter the blue shell. Also, in a very, very unique case, you can use the feather to actually hop over the explosion radius of someone else getting hit by a blue shell. So I think that technically counts. It's not that great of an item for countering a blue shell. Which leads me just into the next one, which is just drive off the course. If you're in an area that you could drive off of it, just drive off of it. Then you do need to worry about all the Lakitu things, but you're still probably going to be making up that time with the Lakitu boost. Next is food. If you're in a position that you can't get out of the way, you're playing online, you can't rewind, you don't have a good counter item, the food bags that are commonly throughout the course and readily to be picked up while you're in first may be a fantastic way for you to help mitigate the effects of the blue shell. If you're holding a food bag behind you and that's your active item, that item is not destroyed by the blue shell because it's not a regular question mark item. So after you're hit by the impact of the blue shell, immediately munch down that food, get your speed back, and get back into position. Which brings me to the absolute best way for you to counter a blue shell, and that's a mushroom. The mushroom item can be pulled in second place very easily. There's a small window just before the blue shell touches down on you that you're able to use that mushroom and then not only ignore the spiny shell that's going to be hitting you, but boost away from it. You were going to be using the mushroom anyway, and the fact that you're doing it and also mitigating the effects of the blue shell is the best possible thing you can do. The mushroom tactic was available in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, however, the window of time in which you have to actually do this maneuver is much easier to do in Mario Kart World. So if you tried it in the last game and you were unsuccessful, try it out. After the shell starts to descend upon you, that's when you use the item. After it starts going down, which is not a big period of time, but if you get the timing down, you're gonna feel amazing about it, and you're gonna shoot ahead of the pack. Anyone who was next to you, they're gonna be getting hit, you're gonna be doing fantastic. Well, great, that's all the ways I came up with how to counter a blue shell. Did I miss any? Leave it in the comment section down below. Also, if you didn't know about any of them, do me a favor and share it down there. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to subscribe for more Mario Kart World videos. Until next time, Austin John out.
Man, they see me shining like I got the charm. Stay strapped, got that jet ball in my palm. Fell from the sky, guess I'm the chosen one. And if you need to know how, check out Austin John. Champion flow, yeah, I got that champion flow.